What's going on, everybody? The purpose of this video is to review characteristics of a parabola, and we're going to do this two ways. We're going to find the characteristics when given the equation like this. We're given an equation. We're going to find the axis of symmetry, the vertex. We're going to identify whether the vertex is a maximum or minimum value, and we're going to find the range, which you kind of see down here, and we'll scroll down. See, we're going to find the range also. So the main thing, the first thing you're always going to do is make sure that the quadratic, when given an equation, is in standard form. And then we're going to identify A, B, and C. So here, A is always the coefficient of the x squared term or the quadratic term. In this case, it's 1. B is the coefficient of the x term right here, and in this case, it is 4. And C is the constant term, and that is 6. So to find the axis of symmetry, when given an equation, we use the formula x equals negative b over 2 times a. So if b is 4, negative b is negative 4. And a is 1, so I have 2 times 1. So I have negative 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. So in this case, I'm going to get negative 2 because negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Axis of symmetry is a line. Lines have equations. They're like your name. You always have to give the axis of symmetry as an equation. The great thing is the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. And since the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex is the same as the axis of symmetry. The vertex is a coordinate. It's a coordinate in which the x-coordinate here is going to be the same as the axis of symmetry. So it is negative 2. And then how do I find the y-coordinate? I use substitution to find the y-coordinate. I'm going to take and substitute negative 2 in place of x in this equation. So instead of x squared, I have negative 2 squared. Then plus 4 times, instead of x, negative 2. And then plus 6. So what I have here is I can either use a calculator or just multiply this out. Negative 2 squared is 4, okay? And then minus 8, because 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and then plus 6. So y here is going to be 2, okay? So my vertex is the ordered pair, negative 2, 2. So now I want to identify if this is a max or a min, and we look at the a value here, and a is positive, so the parabola opens up, and if the parabola opens up, then it has a minimum value, therefore this is a minimum. Okay, and then we talk about the range, and the range tells us about all the y values, and I know if the minimum y value is 2, that all the other y values have to be greater than or equal to 2. And the way I think about this to determine if greater than or equal to, if the parabola opens up, y must be greater than the lowest value. If the parabola opens down, y must be less than the lower value. Okay, great. So now we're going to look at, let's say I'm not given an equation and I'm given a graph. Now this is the graph of the same equation back here. So all of our answers should be the same. I should get the same vertex. I should get the same axis of symmetry. I should also get minimum, and that y is greater than or equal to 2. So we already know what the answer should be. Now here's the point. When given a graph and not an equation, okay, then what I do is this. The first thing I do is find the vertex. And the vertex is right here. See that? There's the vertex. And the coordinates of that vertex are negative 2 and 2. And since we know that the axis of symmetry, see this? The axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. That's where the axis of symmetry is. That the axis of symmetry is going to be the same as the x-coordinate. Right there. Okay? Now, is the vertex a max or min? Once again, the vertex is the bottom point of this parabola. It's a min. Okay? What's the range? Same thing. It opens up greater than or equal to 2. And that's all we're doing here to find vertex and axis of symmetry and to finding all of these characteristics of parabolas when given graphs or equations.